So the next unit that next chapter that we are going to discuss is the file handling. So what is file handling, and how we will, what are the topics that we will read from this chapter. File handling means nothing but operating with the file using the Python code. So what is a file? File is basically the sequence of bytes, means everything whatever written inside the file is nothing but the sequence of bytes. So file is the sequence of byte, and there are different type of file in Python which we can work. Okay, so in our syllabus we will learn three types of file, and we will learn to learn different operations with these three types of files. The operation will be basic operations like opening the file, reading the file, closing the file, writing into the file, and all these. Okay, so let us start our topic. Why we need operations with the file? If we have the output, we run the output through program code, then what is the need of file? Why we will create a file? Okay, so file, what is the basic requirement of file is that if we want to store our output of program, if we want to store our output or the program, and in that case what we will do, we will create a file and we will store that output inside a and we will write the output inside that file. Okay, so now you see, when you run a program for the first time and you take value from the user, and then you run the program, and when you again run the program for the second time and then you take value from the user. So if you want to store all these values which is taken by the user after every running of the program, like if we are writing a program to store record of students in a file, or if we are writing a program to store record of students, in that case what we can do is, like first day I inserted suppose two rows, now two records of the student, and then second if I write it in a file, in the second day I can again add two rows, and the third day also I can write two rows. Like this we can insert new rows inside the file, and we can store our outputs as per our requirements. So file is required. So to work or modify the data stored inside the file, means if we created the file, we created the file in which data of the student is stored, and we want to modify some data, then we can do it easily with the Python code. And after storing these changes, yeah, after saving these changes, we can access those data again as per our requirement. So Python gives facility to work with different type of files and different sizes of files. Use files can also be opened inside the file, and we can work with that files also. So there is no need for importing external library to read and write files. See, the basic operations with the file are open, read, write, close. These are the four basic operations with the file. Now these functions actually need not to be imported, or the module for these functions need not to be imported. These are actually stored inside the built-ins module. Built-ins module is the module which is the default module, or it is already imported by the interpreter, so we need not to import it again to access different file functions. Python provides an inbuilt function for creating, reading, and writing the files. So we will see each function in our upcoming slides. Now, type of files which we will learn. Basically, three type of file we will learn: text file, binary file, and CSV file. Let us see first what is text file, what is binary file, and what is CSV file. So when we work with the file, as I said that we can take value from the file, means we can take value from the file, we can read a file, and we can change the data, and we can save it again into the file. And suppose whenever we do a simple program, then in through which device we are taking input and where we are giving the outputs. Okay, see, whenever we write the simple program, we take input from the user using the input function or using the eval function, and these inputs are processed by the processor, and the interpreter executes all the functions, all the operations which are done with these inputs. So this stream of bytes are operated or executed by the interpreter, and then whatever output is given by the interpreter is given to the output window or to the monitor using the print command. So this is basic input output operation. And now let us see what happens in case of file. If in case of file, if we are opening a file for reading purpose, means if we suppose we want to count all the even numbers stored in a file, where suppose in a file marks of the students are written and we want to check whose marks is the maximum marks. In all these cases, first we need to read the file. So we are reading or we are taking data from the file. So in this case, the input will be taken from the file, and so the file will work as the input device. Okay, so this now we will operate with these inputs. We will find the maximum or whatever you want to do changes we can do. Suppose you want to increase the marks, we will increase the marks. This all will be executed by the interpreter, which is written inside our function. The statements we will write inside the function, it will be executed by the interpreter. So at last we will get the output. Now we want to store all these changes inside the file. So what is the output device in this case? Again, in this case, the output device is file. So in case of file input output operations, the input and the output device both is a file, means input and the output both is done by the file on the is done through the file only. And in case of basic input output operation, it is done through the input device and the output device, that is keyboard and the monitor. So let us move to the type of files. First is the text. What is the file? Every file is a long string of ones and zeros. Because inside the file stream of bytes are there. Now bytes means we know that bytes is the group of bits, group of 8 bits. So every file is a long string of 1 and zeros. Specifically, a file is a finite length sequence of bytes where each byte is an integer between 0 and 255, including both the values. Okay. So first type is the text file. In the text file, each line of code includes a sequence of characters. Mind it that each line of code includes the sequence of characters. It means that whatever we will write inside the file, it will be the sequence of characters, or we can say that it will in the form of string. So each line of a text file is terminated with a special character and called the end of line or end of line characters like comma or new line characters. So these characters, if we not provide these characters, it is automatically inserted by the interpreter so that it can understand that the first line is ended and then and new line is begin. Okay, so the end of line is given after each line. It ends the current line and tells the interpreter a new one has begun. So text file must represent reasonable text. Inside the text file, there must be reasonable text that can be readable and can be edited in any text editor program. So many text editor programs are there. Let us see some example of text files. These are common extensions that are text or file formats which we can use, which we can open in our file and we can read. So web standard extensions are there, web standard files are there, source code files are there like cpp.cpp.cas.js.py. It means inside a Python program we can read another Python program one line by line. Okay, so document type like text which we write in the notepad editor, RTF, rich text format, all these are text file formats. So let us move to the next type. Next type is the binary file. Binary file, in this type of file there is no terminator, unlike in the case of text file we see that every line is ended by a special character end of line, but here there is no terminator for a line and the data is stored after converting it into machine understandable binary language. Whenever we open a file in the binary mode, means we are working with the binary file, and in case of binary file the data is stored after converting it into machine understandable binary language. So that the data will not be the sequence of characters. Here the data will be the actual data. Like if we are inserting we are writing a list inside the text file, then that list will be written in the form of string only. But if we write this string in the binary file, then it will if we write this list in the binary file, then it will treat it as the list only. So binary files have no inherent constraints, can be any sequence of bytes, and some common binary extensions, binary file formats are given here: images, videos, audios, documents, archives, database, executables. So next is the CSV file. CSV means the comma separated value. It is the most common import and export format for spreadsheet. Means suppose we want to import data from the text from our txt files, we can say the notepad editor files, and we want to export our data from spreadsheet to the text editor. In all these cases, these csv files are used very uh, csv files are commonly used. So you can see that how we can store a spreadsheet into the csv file. To store a spreadsheet into csv file, you have to just click on save as the file, and after clicking on the saving as, you will give the list of forms in which you can save the document. Here you can see that three CSV file forms are given here: CSV Macintosh, CSV MS DOS, and CSV comma delimited. So CSV file comma separated will be stored in the form of CSV delimited, and you will get a new file like this. Okay, so you will get the new file like this. This is the csv file where you can see that value of each column are separated by the comma. So the value of each column are separated by the comma. So this is the example of csv file. Let us move to the next slide. So the basic file operations with each type of file, either it may be text file or binary file or csv file. With each type of file, there will be some basic operations. These will be: first will be to open a file. So means why we are trying to, why means what is the purpose to open a file. Suppose you want to read the file, then this is an operation. We want to write a file, write into the file, then this is another operation. If we want to do some changes inside the file, we want to modify the file, then these are the other operations. And suppose we want all our works has done and now we want to close the file. So these all are the basic operations related with each type of file: open a file, read from a file, write into a file, modify data of a file, delete data from the file, and close a file. These are the basic operations related to or associated with each type of file, and which we will learn in the Python code, how we perform these actions using the Python code. Okay, so let us move to the next slide. In this slide, we will start with a file. We will start opening a file. Here you can see that to open a file, one syntax is there: f is equal to open path of file slash file name and then file mode. Here you can see that open is the function. Open is actually the predefined function which is defined inside the built-in module. This is the function. This is the path of the file, means where it is storing, where the file which we want to open is stored. Means we have to give the path of the file so that interpreter can easily access it. And the next is the file mode. Means we are telling the interpreter that for which purpose we are opening this file. And f is nothing but it will refer to the file which we will open. It will refer to the file which we are going to open. So f will be the object which will point to the file which we will open. Okay, so here you can see that file object, f is the file object using which we will read and write data into the file. Means using f object only we will call the read function, we will call the write function. Open is the predefined function defined inside the built-in module. It is used to open a file in read or write mode, and the path of the file is actually the path of file where the file is stored. We have to give the path so that file can be opened easily. The default path is Python folder because we are working in that directory. So the file will be stored, or file will be stored default in the Python folder. So what is the file mode? It is specify, it is a variable or it is a value which specify purpose of opening this file by passing values. Okay, opening means why we want to open the file, like R for reading purpose and W for writing purpose, and these values are fixed for different purposes. So let us see the path of file first. In how many ways we can give the path of the file. See, in the last example we have seen that we started to give path from path from slash, okay, slash operator slash, and then the name of folder, and then the name of file we have given. This type of path is known as relative path. Okay, so let me move to the last slide. In this slide you can see that the path of the file is written as, here you can see that the path of the file is given as, first the folder name will be there and then the file name will be there. This type of path is known as the relative path. In this type of path, the we need not to give the exact path. We just give the name of the file, or we just give the current, we just give the name of the directory in which this file is stored. So let us see it. So here relative path examples are given. Please pay your attention here. See, in this case only slash is written, it means that we are inside a folder. This is one example of relative path. See, inside this case you can see fizz, slash fizz means there is one more folder, fizz. Inside the current directory, see, these are the current directories where we are working. Now inside the current directory there is one folder, fizz. Now inside this folder there is a file spam.txt. So so we are giving the relative path, means we need not to give the whole path in which drive it is stored and in which folder fizz is stored. And so in case of relative path, we are just giving the current directory of the file and the name of the file, and rest are already taken by the rest are automatically taken by the compiler, so that the actual path of the file can be generated. Rest are means actual directory, and the actual drive of the file is automatically taken by the compiler in case of relative path. And in case of relative path, the directory or the name of the drive will be the default directory in which we are currently working. Like we are executing our Python code, so we are working inside the Python folder. So all the files which we will create or which we will save, all the files uh, will be saved inside that Python folder. Okay, so in case of relative path, interpreter automatically takes the path of the path of the drives in, and then concate it with the relative path provided by the user, and thus it creates the exact path or the absolute path of the file. In case of absolute path, we are providing the whole path. In case of we are providing the whole path, the exact path of the file, means in this case C, the spam.txt is stored inside C colon slash backend slash p slash spam.txt. Like this, we will provide the name of the drive as well as the name of the directories also. So this will be the absolute path, the exact path. So let us move to the next slide, in which I explain the difference between the absolute and the relative path. Here you can see that okay, absolute path file paths are notated by a leading forward slash or drive level. You can see here that absolute path C colon slash user slash admin. So we are giving the drive level also, and then the directories with the slash operator. Okay. So in case of relative path, file paths are notated by a lack of a leading forward slash. A relative file path is interpreted from the perspective your current working directory. So for example, this is one example. File programs is the folder in which abc.txt is stored, but the drive level is not given here. So this is basic difference between the absolute path and the relative path. Here we have discussed some examples of relative path. Suppose we open a file, and we are giving the relative path of the file. So abc.txt, we are giving only the name of the file. The rest will automatically be added by the interpreter, so that it can get the path of the file and it can work inside this file. So path of current directory will automatically be added to this. So final path or the absolute path will become or will be occurred, and the final path will be the the whole path of the current directory and then the name of the file. So this is the example of relative path. Let us see another example for the relative path. Here we are storing the file inside inside a folder file programs, and then in that folder, inside that folder, the file is stored, that is abc.txt. So again we are giving the relative path, and here you can see that that slash, it is starting with the slash operator. So the rest path, that is the name of the drive, and if there is any outer folder, all these will be automatically added by the interpreter while we run this program. So this is relative path, and the path of current directory will automatically be added to this. So final path or absolute path will become like this. Okay, current directory, you have to very clear about this, that relative path work means the file is stored inside the current directory in which we are working. So let us see the absolute paths. Here one absolute path is shown, that inside E drive we are storing the file abc.txt. So let us move to the next topic, that is the file modes. What are the file modes? We have seen that the open function have two arguments. First argument was the path of the file, and the second argument was the mode of the file. So mode means it will tell the purpose of opening a file, while why we want to open the file. So default mode is always read mode. We can skip the mode also. If we skip the mode argument inside the open function, then default mode will be the read mode. Okay, so first is the R, that is we are opening file for the read purpose. So, for the read purpose, and keep it in mind, or please make a note that read file, if we open a file inside, if we open a file in the R mode or in the read mode, then file must exist in the system, or it must exist. Otherwise interpreter will raise an error, that will be the file not found error. So in case of reading a file, only reading a file, the file must already exist inside our system or inside the folder. Okay, so RB means we are going to read the binary files. We are opening the file in the binary mode. R plus means we are opening a file for both reading and writing purpose, for reading and writing both purposes. But R plus, it means the file must exist inside the file, then only it can be then only we can do other operations, read and file with the file. Now RB plus means we are opening a binary file for reading and writing both purpose. W is the mode in which we open the file for the writing purpose. Now in case of writing purpose, if the file already does not exist, then it is created by the interpreter. So WB opens the file for writing only. Okay, one thing more, when we open a file inside the W mode or inside the write mode, if the file already exists, then it is overwritten by the next operation. If we perform a write operation by opening the same file, then it will be all the content inside the file will be overwritten if we open the file in the W mode or WB mode. W plus means we are opening the file for both reading and writing and reading purpose. Writing and reading purpose, file may exist or may not exist. If it is not existing, it will be created by the compiler itself. Interpreter itself. W plus opens a file for both writing and reading in binary format. A opens a file for appending. A is the mode which opens a file for appending, means we can insert more data at the end of the file. So W overrides the content, whereas A adds the data at the end of the file. AB means open a file for appending in binary format. A plus means open a file for both appending and the reading purpose. AB plus means opening a file for both appending and reading in binary format. So let us move to the next topic, that is the basic file operations associated with the file, the method, and the first method or the first function which is associated with the file is the open, which we discussed already. The last will be the close and flush. Whenever we close and flush, close function closes the file. A closed file cannot be read or written anymore, and the flush, the flushes or clears the internal buffer. See, whenever you open a file in the write mode and you are writing inside the file, and you forgot to close the file, then whatever you have written in the file is not going to reflect inside the file. Whenever after writing, you have to, or you must have to close the file or flush the file, so that all the changes or all the lines that you written inside the file may be reflected actually. So file dot next returns the next line from the line file each time it is being called. File dot read, it will read the file, the content of the file character by character. If argument is provided, size is provided, then it will return that number of characters. If this size is not provided, then it will return the whole content of the file. File dot read line, it will read one line, one entire line from the file at a time. A trailing new line character is kept in the string, means it will be left in the file. Okay, so file dot read lines, it will read all the lines of the file in one go, and it will display it line by line. If we print it, it will display the if we print it, it will display the lines in the form of sequence, or the in the form of list. File dot seek, it is used to place the current position of the pointer. It is used to place the position of the pointer at the specified position provided. Here we are providing the position offset, so it is used to place the pointer at this position, offset position. We will see it in the code also. File dot tail, it tells the size of the file up to the current position of the pointer. Then file dot truncate, it will truncate the file size. If the optional size argument is present, the file is truncated to at most that size, means the content of the file will be deleted up to that size. File dot write is it is used for writing the string inside the file. It takes the argument in the form of strings, and there is no return value. And file dot write lines is, it takes a sequence of string as the input, and it is used to write more than one line inside the file. So let us see all these one by one. So the functions used to write data inside file. The first we are going to use write functions, means we are going to write inside the file so that we can read it later. The two functions which are associated with writing to the file are the write and write lines. Write function takes one argument, that is a string type. Write lines take one argument, that will be sequence of string. Okay. So let us take these two functions one by one. So write into a text file. If by default, see text file, if we are not providing the mode, like we are not providing the mode, then in that case file will automatically be treated as the text file. So let us see how we open a file and how we write inside the file. Opening we have already seen. So while you are writing into a file, you have to first open that file. The open syntax you all know, OF is equal to open, then the name of the file or the path of the file, and then the mode. Mode means here we are writing into the file, so we have written W mode. Now we have to take input from the user so that we can write it in the file. So we are taking the input from the user, it is the integer input. So we are taking it from the user, and now we are going to write inside the file using the command write. Write is the function which is used to write is the function which is used to write data inside the file. Now see what is written inside the command. Since write function takes only string argument, if you write just f dot write and then x, it is going to give you an error. If you write f dot write, if you give the statement f dot write x, then it is going to give an error that the type is not supported by the operation write, because write function always takes a string as the argument. So what we need to do, we need to first convert the integer into the string. So to convert the integer into the string, we have typecasted that integer. We have typecasted that integer here using the str function. Now we can write it inside the file. So we can see what is the content of the data after writing also. Okay, this is one. This is only we are writing only the integer inside the file. Now don't forget to close or flush file after write statement. Otherwise, it is not going to reflect inside the file or the inside the file1.txt. So while closing or flushing, why closing or flushing is required after a write statement? Closing or flushing is required so that the buffer can be cleaned. So that the buffer can be cleaned. Okay. So due to buffering, the string may not actually show up in the file until you call flush or close. Okay. So writing different data types inside the file, earlier we saw only integer data type. We can write another data type also, means we can write all data type inside the file. We have to just convert that into the string, that only then only we can write it inside the file. So here we are taking input from the user using the eval function. Now eval function is used to take any sequence type input from the user. So we can give list here, we can give a string here, we can give dictionary here, and then we are writing that inside the file, and we are converting, we are typecasting it into the string, and at last we are flushing the uh, memory or the buffer. So I have given here one dictionary value, and I am writing it into the file. Now let us see what will be the content of the file. Here you can see that inside the file 2.txt, this is the notepad file 2, which is created while we open this using open function. So here we can see that one dictionary is written um, inside this file. Okay, so this is how we can write different data types inside the Python. So rest we will see in the next class. This is all for today. Take care.